What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. I got a video for you guys. This is talking about the Francisco Sierra versus Don George last night. This matchup was a super middleweight bout. Ended very early in the fight. I don't remember which round. I watched it. I was really tired last night. So anyway, the ending was quite controversial. Ending of the fight, but anyway, I'm just going to talk about the fight. And first off, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to sound like the angry man on YouTube or whatever. But first off, I'm going to say this, and this is something that really, at times, really ticks me off. And I'll say this straight up, if I'm subscribed to you, please, please do not send me any videos. Don't share your videos with me if I'm subscribed to you. I'm just saying because it's quite annoying when you look up and you look at the video. I mean, you look in your inbox all the time, and you have the subscription, and then you have the shared videos and stuff. It's really annoying. So anyway, if you have a video and you're sharing the video or whatever, and I'm subscribed to you, please do not send me the video. If I'm not subscribed to you, you make videos, then whatever, it's fine. But if I'm subscribed to you, I'm subscribed to you for a reason. I'm interested in what you have to say, but you don't have to share the video with me. Even though I'm subscribed, I don't share my videos with anybody unless I'm asked to. And I don't really expect the same from everyone else, or whatever. And me I use a kind of a marketing concept. It's like, if you build it, they will come. That's kind of the concept I use with this channel. So please do not send me any videos if I am subscribed to your channel. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now onto the fight: Francisco Sierra versus Donovan George. I believe his name was Donovan George, John George, whatever. Sierra came. I think the biggest mistake coming into this fight was George said he was going to come in and he was going to knock out Sierra. That's one of the That's one of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a young fighter, especially fighting that prospect stage. A fighter who's never really been into deep waters. Against a veteran fighter, you want to build up your experience. You don't want to go in and take out the veteran fighter early, because the veteran fighter knows what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. So when they're doing this for a long time, more than likely you're not going to go in and just KO them in the first round. And first round, second round knockouts can be very deceiving, can be very misleading as well. So I think the biggest mistake was George coming in and saying he was going to knock out Sierra. That was the biggest mistake that he made, because just because he's a young fighter, he's coming against a fighter who has experience in the sport. So you might as well against a fighter who's been in the ring with I guess bigger B-level opposition like Edson Miranda. A fighter who has experience, you want to go in and you want to get experience in fights like that, because say you go in and you knock out everybody, you can end up like a Fernando Vargas or Victor Ortiz. And Fernando Vargas, wasn't necessarily ready for Felix Trinidad when he faced him like in 2000. Vargas wasn't ready. He didn't really have many rounds coming into that fight, and Trinidad was a tough fighter who's going to take him to the later stages of the fight. So when you knock out fighters way too early, especially veteran fighters, and it does its part to your career if you do that. Same with Victor Ortiz. He was when he was a different boxer, and earlier in his career, or at least a year ago, he was a different boxer than what he is now. He's more of a safe boxer, more so than anything else at this stage of his career. Currently after the matchup against Marcos Maidana. But other than that, I think George was a fighter, especially with a talent-rich super middleweight division. I think that George shouldn't have went in and went for the kill against Sierra. I think that was probably the worst idea. I think that was the main number one problem. He should just went in and boxed, but Sierra went in, he boxed, and got inside and got some pretty good shots on George on the inside. And George, showed in that fight that he wasn't mature enough to get to that top tier level just yet. You know, he was 20-0, and you know he just showed a little bit of immaturity in that fight. Just showed a little bit because there were times he was jumping out of range and jumping in on the inside and getting caught and punching wild and rapidly. Stuff like that just showed that George was not ready for the top level, and Sierra came in the better prepared fighter despite the fact that he came in on short notice. And you can debate that. You can debate, you know, maybe because Sierra was overweight and came in on short notice, the George didn't really have enough time to prepare for him. But at the same time, as a fighter, you have to be prepared for anything. Because you know, say George was gonna fight, say a Edison Miranda. Edison Miranda fought. Say he fights his whole career as an orthodox, but he wants to come in as a southpaw fighter, just for this specific fight. How is he prepared for that? You know, especially if he didn't train with any southpaws. You know, and I think that when a fighter spars, they need to spar and train with southpaw and orthodox fighters to kind of get a touch in case the fighter kind of switches it up and switch hits against them. I think that's just my personal philosophy. But you know, overall it was a very interesting fight. Very good fight. One of the best ESPN has had this year so far, or at least one of the best undercard fights. It was a pretty good one. I don't even remember the name of the fighters in it, but it was a good one a few weeks ago. A light heavyweight bout, but the super middleweight bout was great. Also, the ending of the fight, George was hit after the bell, and a lot of people debate whether or not it was intentional or unintentional. Me personally, I do believe that it was unintentional. I think it was one of those heat of the moment type things. It's similar to maybe the Billy Dib fight back in 2009 when he kind of got caught in the heat of the moment against a Japanese fighter. I think it was one of those heat of the moment type exchanges to where, you know, because he was really starting to open up, and George was getting much weaker and more tired, and he was getting beat up pretty badly. So I thought that the corner should have stopped the fight. You know, I think for George's sake, I thought the corner should have stopped it a little bit earlier, because I think really him hitting George after the bell pretty much saved George from more of a beating that he was more than likely going to take. George's hands were down. If you look at the video, George's hands were down. He heard the bell. It's kind of a natural thing. You know, similar to Sierra. You know, it was a natural thing after he threw the jab to follow it up with that other shot. You know, it was a natural thing when you hear that bell as well to drop the hands and walk to the corner. He was kind of walking to that corner, and when he was walking to that corner, you know, you see that 1-2, and you know, he just went down. He went down very nasty. So, you know, I think it was a heat of the moment type thing. I don't think it was dirty. I don't think it was intentional. I just think it was, like I said, I just think it was a heat of the moment type thing where, because Sierra was starting to really pour it on towards the later stages of the fight, I believe it was around 7 or 8. He really started to pour it on. He was winning the fight. He had a knockdown that round, so that tied up the round. I had every round for Sierra. Sierra was clearly winning that fight, and just beating up, and really just beating up George. Just beating him up, and you know, what else can I say about this fight? But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Pretty much, I'll probably be back later on tonight because I am gonna watch this pay-per-view. I said it shouldn't be on pay-per-view. I'm gonna check it out. So, anyway, guys, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.